Hello, in this video we're going to learn how to write a check using the Write Checks feature in QuickBooks. I have a company open, a company that we're going to use for an assignment, so I'm just going to use the data there to show you this feature. So from your home page, you'll see over in the banking section, bottom right corner, that there is a button called Write Checks. So when you click on that button, then a checkbook, if you will, appears. The top part of the form is the check itself that we'll fill in, and the bottom part then is like the check register, so we can tell it which account that the funds will come from. So let's take a look at this for a second. You'll see that the bank account that is set up for our checkbook is the checking account, so it's the 1050 bank checking. You'll see that all of our banks are chosen there, so if we wanted to write the check on a different bank, we could just choose it there, but by default it goes to the bank checking account. It also shows you what the current ending balance is of that particular bank checking account. QuickBooks also automatically numbers the next check in the sequence, so in this case the next check in the sequence will be 594. And then the date. So I want to go in and I'm going to change the date on the assignment. The date is September 1st, 2011. So I'm going to put that date in now. And we're going to write a check for $290. And we're going to write it to a company called Gates Software. They're a vendor that we often purchase services from. So I'm going to choose the vendor there, and you'll notice that when I do, the address is populated in the bottom part of the check. It's also set up so that when the check prints, if you were using window envelopes, you could turn that, and that address would then fit in the window envelope. Saves a lot of time. You wouldn't have to create mailing labels. Also, when I typed in the amount and pressed tab to go past it, then the amount automatically wrote out on the next line, which is the standard practice for writing out a check. In the memo field, I'm going to type why we're sending this check. So we're sending this for copying dance class schedules for the new season, so that when Gates Software gets this check, they'll see what it's for. If they don't have an invoice to line it up with, they'll see right away what it's for. If I go down to the bottom part of the form, I can then choose the account that I want QuickBooks to apply this money to. So we have an account for printing and copying, so 5180. It is an expense account, so I'm going to choose there. So you'll see that the amount is $256.64 because QuickBooks automatically determined, based on the fact that I've chosen the tax field is H for HST. You'll see that it's automatically calculated of that 290, how much of it was HST. So the journal entry, the amount of the photocopying would be $256.64, and then the other part of that entry would be the HST, because then that would go into an HST remittance report for the government. So I've chosen the account that I'm going to apply that to. I'm going to use the same. I'm just going to copy it and then paste it. The same information on the description. So really, what I'm telling QuickBooks, if you think about this for a second, I'm writing a check to a vendor for $290. It's to pay for an expense. So when I put that the account was an expense account, what's really going to happen when I finish this is that QuickBooks will create the journal entry, and it will be a debit to the printing and checking expense account of $256.64, and then the credit will be cash for $256.64 because it's coming right out of our checking account, which is our cash account. So that would be the credit, and then the additional part of that entry would be the $33.36 for HST. So the cash would be the total of the $290, but then the two debits would be the HST collected and the printing and copying expense. So that's what QuickBooks will do in the background once I click Save and Close. So you check everything out, make sure you've got the right date, you know that you've put in the check number. Oh yeah, at the top here, you'll see that you've got a section for printing. You can print it now, so you would tell it whether you're printing a separate check or a whole batch. If you click on the Print Later button, QuickBooks just holds these checks in your system until you're ready to print. That's why you've got that Print Batch option. Also, you'll notice if you choose Print Later, then you can't apply the check number. QuickBooks will do that automatically when you're ready to print. But for the most part in our course here, we're not going to be actually printing checks, so we will automatically apply our own check number. So we'll need to make sure that that is deselected so that we can then go in there and we can type in the check number that we want to use for our particular check. So then once everything is in there the way we like it, we are ready to just click Save and Close, and then that's all we need to do for writing a check in QuickBooks.